And remember, my loyal subjects, when faced with alien invasion, board the nearest school bus, as that is the safest place for you to hide. When you watch this movie, you will know how funny that is. Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the Great Master Squeak, and welcome to Squirrel Talk at the Movies. The aliens have returned. Not those aliens! The unnamed Independence Day aliens that are now not all wiped out from the first movie are back for a sequel, because that cliffhanger at the end was so demanding of a sequel. What? There's no cliffhanger at the end of it? Then what are we doing making a sequel of this? Well, as the fad of Hollywood continues, everything is either being remade or sequelized. So sure, why not? The characters. This is kind of a tricky subject, as none of the characters are bad at acting. They deliver their lines well, they try to carry the story, yet why can I not find any of them interesting? I do not think anyone had a bad scene, or were unlikable, but nothing they ever did or said would stick with me. I had a tendency to forget they existed or what they were doing almost as soon as they were off the screen. The only one I could accurately remember in this movie was Goldblum, because this is Goldblum's movie now. Speaking of which, they managed to get so many of the original cast to come back to reprise their roles, including that scientist guy that is totally not dead now, and Judd Hirsch, who does absolutely nothing in this, but they couldn't get Will Smith to come back at all. That would have at least helped these people be a little more memorable. I guess one problem is that quite a few characters have little to do, or exist purely to be killed off in some manner or another. The plot. After 2 decades, Earth has come together in unity, despite there still being warlords, and making use of the alien technology they've scavenged to make a brighter future for themselves. But a new alien ship has appeared to once again conquer the planet. The story is kind of unimpressive, to be honest, mostly because it involves a lot of subplots of characters who fail to keep my interest, and a few questionable plot decisions that serve no other purpose but to try and squeeze more explosions or action out of them. For example, the alien queen can mind control her ships, but only sometimes when we need more suspense. The aliens have lasers that can accurately pinpoint Earth's defenses and destroy them, but only sometimes if it would end an action sequence too early. It's a pattern the aliens do throughout the movie. They clearly demonstrate they are better, but seemingly purposely mess up to give the humans an edge. One last thing, there's quite a few recycled themes. Same president makes a speech, they have another alien mind meld thing, but they do not seem to be as common as other sequels I have seen. Design. If there's one thing this movie does right, it's the design. The aliens look about the same, but move better, operate better. We actually get to see foot soldiers march into bases. Lots of explosions. Every action sequence better than the last. This is one fun roller coaster. And I like the design of the human tech as well, keeping things traditional looking, but at the same time giving everything this hybrid feel of being mixed with the alien tech. Overall, humans may be a bit uninteresting and the plot may waver once in a while, but boy do these action sequences make this fun. I think that the fact that the acting isn't bad, that saves this movie from being a simple explosion movie. Well, kind of a snore until the alien shows up, the action picks up and turns this movie into a fun little ride. So with that being said, this is a meh. Just a meh. As fun as all these action scenes are, without interesting characters carrying an interesting story, there isn't a whole lot of depth to it. There are plenty of other movies out there that have just as much action and adventure, but have characters that stick with you and they're much easier to root for, and without that, There's just nothing to stick to our brains from this movie but the explosions. And in the long run, that doesn't make the movie very memorable. So if you want to check it out for yourself, it can be a fun roller coaster ride, but if you want something with a little more character development, you may want to just stay home. And now for a moment with previews. Based on true events, huh? Well, people like these things, it should do well. I only saw the first one all the way through, and bits and pieces of the others. How does this story keep going? At some point, you're fishing for more mysteries out of a hat. This is Star Trek. Of course I am going to see this one. I am the Great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk at the Movies. I thank my loyal subjects for tuning in to another alien adventure. If you think you like this movie, then you may like and subscribe to me. If you think you do not like this movie, then you will like and subscribe to me anyway. Also, if you so wish, you may donate to my Patreon here. Click here.